So, this is the not so crazy lady. Can't make say not a crazy. Rumkin News. Raw bitch moments. So, liar for a living, James Cromwell, says that there's going to be blood and riots in the streets if the left loses. Yeah, let's check it out, shall we?
The 2018 midterm elections. Cromwell made the first of his horrifying comments while on the red carpet for the Carney Awards Sunday night, as reported by Variety. This is nascent fascism. We always had a turnkey totalitarian state. All we needed was an excuse, and all the institutions were in place to turn this into pure fascism, Cromwell told Variety. If we don't stop President Donald Trump now, then we will have a revolution for real. Then there will be blood in the streets. Cromwell reiterated his comments during his acceptance speech for one of the Carney Awards honors for notable character actors named after the late Art Carney. We're living in very curious times, and something is coming up which is desperately important to this country and to this planet, and that is an election in which hopefully, in some measure, we are going to take back our democracy, Cromwell.
The Carney Awards. Well, that makes sense. So let's see, Mr. Cromwell. You're threatening a revolution if your side doesn't win. First of all, that's kind of like a 3-year-old stance. Second of all, what the hell are you going to do? You're not going to be out there marching. You're not going to be out there bleeding or rioting. You're going to be in the safety of your gated community or $1 million house with private security guards and an alarm system. Let me tell you what's going to happen in areas where people like me live. Because I live in an area, it's open carry. Just like the wild, wild west. You can walk in the grocery store with your 6 shot right on your leg, right on your hip, your Glock. You can have a rifle in your window of your truck. You just can't conceal it without a concealed weapons permit. So let me see. The left, who hates guns, believes in shredding the Constitution. That little booklet I read the other day to my subs from the Cody Institution, I believe it is, Project Veritas, has them using it in a film where the universities, because it triggered the so-called journalist, the Sting woman, and she's pretending that it triggered her. And so the counselors there actually shredded the Constitution, called it worthless, said it causes people pain. The Constitution causes you pain. These are the people who are in charge of your $100,000 education for your children. They're shredding the Constitution. These are the very people that are going against the fact that they believe the 14th Amendment was written for illegal citizens. It wasn't. It was written for the freed slaves to ensure their children did not have any debt attached to their name and under the jurisdiction of what their parents are under the jurisdiction of, the laws of the United States. Therefore, the child is protected under that jurisdiction. If there's no jurisdiction over that person, they don't have any rights to citizenship. It was to protect the freed slaves and American Indians and anybody else who came here, like the Irish, who were indentured slaves. Having been naturalized, it ensured their children had citizenship. But they don't teach you civics and American history in school. They teach you propaganda. And this scumbucket who looks like some dirty old man that used to live on the end of my block, his only intention is to rile up ignorant people because he's got a vested interest. And maybe he's got some vested interest in companies that are making money up of trafficking humans. Maybe he owns stock in CNN, the company who is paid to lie to you by the CIA. The same company who continues to hire that piece of shit Don Lemon, that racist, pro-grooming of young homosexual youth. That's what he promotes. That lipstick-wearing bitch. One-on-one, Don. One-on-one. So this jackass here is going to tell you there's riots and blood going to be in the street if the left loses. Now why would the left be so afraid of losing? Why? Because we want to keep criminals from coming into this country? Nobody that doesn't or wasn't born here has a right to come into this country. It is a privilege. That's why they want to come here. So African Americans should be disgusted to their very core that something that was written poorly to protect their ancestors is now been hijacked by people who want to kill them by importing the most lethal drugs and people who will take social services away from those who are poor and need a handout and a hand up. Those tax dollars will not be going to these inflated community organizers anymore. And they won't be going to these fraudulent globalists, bitches for China's agenda. So, Mr. Cromwell, you want to know what your threats will do in a community like mine, where we open carry and we say thank you, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and open doors for each other, and compare our holsters? Go target shooting at least once a month? Right now I'm working on my crossbow. What do you think you're going to do? Your side's not supposed to have any guns because you don't like them, remember? Except for the gangs that your deep state buddies keep dropping into their neighborhoods. Who do you think you're going to fight against? You're bringing rocks to a .50 caliber fight? Oh no, Mr. Cromwell, there's not going to be riots and blood in the street. At least not yours. Because you'll be hiding behind men with guns. I don't know how any of you living in California could be so fucking blind. You must be getting a low lot of that money that's supposed to be going to social services. You must be taking the cream off of the top of that shit. You and your buddies. How come you're not addressing the issues of LA County and CARE, taking Muslim children away from their mothers and putting them in families that aren't Muslim. And these children keep going to these community meetings and asking to stop being moved from foster parent to foster parent. And why are they making me eat weird shit? And why are they making perform rituals on Halloween? How come you're not so concerned about that? How come you're not concerned about the 100,000 bodies that are being rented out of Walmart freezers? You want to know why Walmart is closing? Because there's not enough room for the dead bodies in the morgues. So what are you going to do, Mr. Cromwell? You going to shoot people with the bullets that Department of Homeland Security mysteriously can't find? Are you going to try to march us up to those guillotines Obama bought? No, what you're going to find is a whole lot of pissed off Americans. And I hope you have in your memory those Korean shop owners and Chinese businessmen that were standing on their roofs, which was another organized private paramilitary hit and bank robbery. Being as well armed as the military. Imagine that. And that's when Pelosi and Feinstein made automatic weapons illegal. You've been doing it for decades. Not all of us are stupid. Hashtag Cubic Inc. Hashtag ISIS Inc. in Fort Huachuca. Hashtag David Hogg. No, there's not going to be any blood in the streets anymore. We've had it. The only blood that's going to occur is from the cannon fodder your left is willing to use. The mentally ill, the chemically dependent, people with felonious and psychopathic tendencies, and illegal immigrants. Because I know for a fact your cells are already established here. Where's the 80,000 missing Guatemalan children? Where's all the people from the last caravans? They are well planted in the communities all through this country. And I tried to warn people about American Neighborhood, Operation American Neighborhood. The last phase was to indoctrinate your kids to do the crimes for them. So imagine empaths and intuitives like me who had to watch this horror show like a train wreck being strapped to a fucking tree. And we couldn't stop it. But at least we know, those of us who can see, we know what you're doing. And Americans are waking up. You're not going to get our guns. You're not going to get our kids. You're not going to get our money. You're not going to get our lives. And you certainly aren't going to get our fucking freedom. So I suggest the Secret Service and the FBI take a look at you and the rest of them. Because personally, I can go through the emails and chart every single event that has happened. Talk about dog whistles. What you guys have been doing is a bullhorn. But people are waking up. And you are not going to win, because you know why? We know who you are. We know what you are. We know what you're doing. And you're not going to get away with it. Not So Crazy Lady out.